One of the most common questions that we receive about doing SEO for clients is how long? It can be how long do I have to pay? How long does it take to get results? They're two different things. Basically, how long it will take to get your results depends on your website in particular. So before we start working together, we will have a moment in which we look at your site with our technical tools together. We will share the findings immediately, and it will basically be influenced by two main factors. How long the site has been existing, three main factors. How long the site has been existing, because if it's a new website, it takes longer. New websites, Google doesn't immediately trust them. It's a little bit like when there is a new business and you really need to understand if they're reliable. It's the very same thing with Google. It's something that is technically called domain trust. Google won't trust a new domain straight away, immediately. They will need to see it existing for a few months at least. So they will willingly have it in a sort of sandbox. That is where they keep the rankings of a website dampened. They don't let them really get high. Another factor that is immediately related to this is the lack of backlinks. Backlink is a link from a third-party website to yours. The more links coming to your site, the more Google, if they're good quality ones, the more Google will trust your site. A new site clearly won't have any links pointing to it. So whenever new links are created, this will increase the domain trust. It will shorten the time spent in the sandbox, and in any case, will make sure that the site will rank faster. So even if your site has been existing for a while, it may not have achieved, particularly if you never did SEO before, it may not have achieved any links at all, which is one of the elements that could make the time expectations longer. We will look at your backlink profile together and we'll tell you how many links you have, what is your domain authority now, what timings we can expect. The last element that will influence the expected timings is the type of platform the site is on, together with the type of objectives that you have. So if you have very attainable goals like local rankings, geolocalized keywords, or a specific niche and industry, that's easier. If you're targeting more global keywords, very competitive, difficult ones, it will take longer, particularly if the type of website that was used to create the site, the type of platform, is one of the site builders, no-code, do-it-yourself site builders. I mean, for example, Wix, Weebly, Squarespace. These sites do not let us, SEO providers, fix many of the technical issues that may be there. That would take longer and make it harder to rank for very complicated and competitive keywords. So we'll look together at all these factors. On average, 6 months to 1 year. This is the time frame that you can expect. And we'll get more in detail when we look at your site. This is how long it will take to get you some good first page results that start to become leads and traffic. How long you have to pay, though, is not the same, because one thing that's pretty unique in the way we work with our clients is that we do not bind our clients to stay with us for a certain amount of time. It's quite peculiar, because most agencies, if not all of them, will bind you with a contract to stay for 6 months or 1 year. Instead, we want to keep our clients free to stay as long as they feel the value of it, as long as they feel that they can afford it and they are actually getting something valuable out of it. So If for any reason you are facing some economical difficulties, you need to stop the plan or pause the plan after 2 months, we can do it, and we will do it for you before the renewal. It will always happen on the same day. So if you need us to have a break, we will do it. If you want us to stop, we will do it. You'll know if we haven't gotten there yet. You'll see where we are because we report you every month in a very clear way, and in-person meetings. You know where you're at the moment, and then we can restart, regroup later on when it's the time. Or we can go on working together for years, because we have clients that have been with us for years, because it's not that if you start getting the first amazing first page positions after 6 months to 1 year, then you stop. You can keep getting more and more, and there is so much that we can achieve. So we have gladly, we're really, really blessed to have clients who have been with us for years now. So I hope this clarifies about timings, expectations for your SEO plan. Well, the most common thing that people ask for everything is how much does it cost? So how much will SEO cost for you? With us, we've decided to make the pricing structure very clear and transparent, like everything else. Transparency is one of our values. So on the site, pinkseo.marketing, under services, you can see the packages. We got a bespoke package for people who want something unique, a little bit bigger, but generally we work with 2 different levels of plans. There is an entry plan that is about £500 per month plus VAT, and a little bit higher plan that is on the 750 plus VAT. What does this cover? This covers quite everything that needs to be done for an SEO plan to work on a month-on-month basis. So technical, fixing the code, any sort of errors, keeping it always audited and updated, making sure that there are no broken links, broken images, errors with the sitemap, indexability, crawlability, and all of that. Content, so we will be expanding the content if some pages are not really ideal for SEO. We will rewrite new content. We will then keep creating new articles, even looking at your competitors, the keywords gaps, the things that you're not ranking for yet. And we will keep on creating more articles and more backlinks over the months. The reason for the 2 different plans is that one is a little bit smaller. It includes a little bit smaller number of pages. We go through a priority of top 5 things that you want to be found for in this month, or the top 10. So it's generally more common in the beginning. People choose to start a little bit stronger and faster to get results quicker. And then they downgrade, decrease a little bit when it goes into a sort of maintenance. That's the most typical sort of choice. But we have clients, they prefer to keep the budgets a little bit lower. So we just plan all of the things to do nicely spread over the months. That's actually something that Google likes to see, contingency and things always being regularly updated. You may find higher and lower prices for SEO. Just to give you an idea of what makes these prices, you need first of all to understand what are people offering. Because when they are telling you what SEO is for, you may find someone who's just optimizing your blog posts using Yoast, or someone who's just adding backlinks to your site. There are different ways of doing these things. Or you may find a full service like this, but the reason for a difference in the level of pricing structure, again, can be if they are freelancers or if it's an agency with employees, which have a specific in-depth knowledge in each of the things to do. So someone who's specialized in content, someone who's specialized in coding, or someone is just doing a little bit of everything. Also, you may find higher prices sometimes if you have, if you're working with a company with offices. So all of those wonderful, luxurious coffees with these fantastic places, venues and coffees they offer you. It is amazing to have that sort of facilities, but they add overheads on top of what you're paying. So again, it's a matter of deciding. We are all working remotely. We are a virtual agency. All of our team, the 6 of us, we are all UK-based, but in different parts of the UK, and we don't have overheads as office premises, which keeps your budgets a little bit lower and your expenses a little bit lower, with the very same quality and the very same results done by a completely specialized team, only doing SEO and only doing it in that specific field. So it's like a puzzle. There is the coding, the content, the links, everybody's doing their best. And that is definitely what will help you get the most out of your plan. Another question that we are asked is, what will you do for that money? So what is part of SEO, the work that an agency like us do? Well, let me tell you, we are a team of 6 people, that's me. And we all have a different specialization in the agency. We've got web developers, but their technical coding skill is not used to create new code. We don't create any new websites anymore. We only focus on optimizing the coding of a website. Then we have copywriters meant to write new content for your site, and SEO specialist account managers to do all of the keyword research and finding the best strategy for you. So what we will be doing is looking at your SEO triangle. So coding, content, backlinks. We will be, first of all, analyzing the code of your site to find out if there are any issues that would prevent Google from ranking the site as well as should be. And our web developers will fix them on the site, more or less based on the type of platform that you have. So if your site is on a no-code, do-it-yourself, self-builder platform like Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, the technical optimization will not be possible to be done completely. There may be some parts of the code that we can't touch, but same, there are triangles of all different sort of shapes. So we can have a triangle with the code inside that's a little bit shorter. Then we will balance with more focus on creating links and creating content. So our copywriters will create new content for you, expanding the existing pages and articles and product descriptions that you may have if they're a little bit too thin, too short. And also we will keep creating new content for the future, keeping your blog optimized, keeping your articles coming regularly, creating new valuable content that you need to be found for based on keyword research. So we will, first of all, conduct a very thorough analysis of what people search for when they need to find you, when they need the products and the services that you offer, what they search on Google, and then we will make sure that your site targets all of the most important keywords with the existing content. And if you don't have content enough to reach for those keywords, then we will create that content. And we also look at creating new valuable links pointing to your site. This is how we take care of the 3 sides. So there is an element in which at the beginning, we look at the existing content and coding, and then we go on in the months developing new content and looking at new keywords. That's how and why SEO keeps being an ongoing part of the work. So you will keep reaching new keywords and new clients with new articles, new links being created, and all of the ongoing part of the work that we do. One thing people ask is, will it work? And how do I measure it? Because with SEO, one thing is that anything needs to be measurable. It's a data-driven science. There is nothing in SEO that you can't measure with data. It needs to be proven, the reasons why you do it and the results you're achieving. The reasons why you're doing it are based on the keywords that you will be choosing. So your agency will have reasons to decide which keywords to go through based on their metrics, and they're the ones that are most popular and the easiest to achieve for you. Similarly, anything that is success with SEO is measurable. And as KPIs, key performance indicators, we will be calculating the number of users coming to your website, because that is what will determine being more popular, being found on Google better. And even more importantly, the number of users coming to your website from organic search. In Google Analytics, it's something that can be easily checked. Anyone can check it, and you can see the increase. So it's something that you need to keep measuring to see if actually the work that you're doing is getting more users to the website. And when we send reports to our clients, we always send in benchmarks, 1 month against the previous one, so you can see how things have been improving. The reason why the traffic improves on Google is the other metrics that we will be reporting on, which is the keywords and how they're ranking on Google. So you will see what your site is being found on Google before we start working together. We will together agree what you want to be found for on Google. And then month after month, what we will measure and report to you is how this ranking is improving. It doesn't happen overnight. SEO is a slow burn, is something that takes 6 to 12 months to actually be achieved, but you will see how the progressive improvement is going. So we will be reporting to you, now for this keyword, you're ranking on page 8, now it's on page 6, now it's on page 4. So you will see how this gradually happens, and it does happen. It happens all the time. There is no doubt that an improvement in rankings will happen if all things are being done correctly, fully, meaning that we are able to optimize your code, your content, create more links. Not all keywords may be improving in the same way, so we will see the ones that are resisting a little bit more. What else can be done? So measuring is fundamental even for us to see what else needs to be done if something is not responding as well as we would like. But that's for sure that things will happen, because that's just helping Google understand better your site. And once they do understand better your site, then that's in their first interest to give it to users better and help them find you better. So yes, it happens and it is measurable, absolutely. So SEO is something that does work if it's well done.